First up from Ross Karp, sign Cole Beasley. All right, good start. If he's cheap. I do think the Cowboys overall need a veteran receiver on this roster. The receiver room at this point is very light. You're sitting here with Steve Fehoko as your receiver 3, who I liked coming out of Stanford, but you haven't proven that he's your guy. So, you kind of got to have some more options there as far as I'm concerned. Brandon Romero. Would you rather have a 7 to 8 win season and fire Mike than hire Sean Payton, or have an 11 to 13 win season, win a playoff game or two, and extend Mike? Oh. Cop-out answer here. Which one gets me a title? Whether it's this year, next year, 3 years, whichever one gets me a title first, kind of think it's the Sean Payton one, which I don't like saying, but that's kind of my mindset there. All right, Keith the Man, draft Troy Anderson. Can I get him in the 3rd round? I actually really like this linebacker class in the top 100. I'm going to have so many guys top 100. Nakobe Dean, Devin Lloyd, Anderson's among them. Leo Chenal, both of the other Georgia linebackers, Quay Walker, Channing Tindall, Damone Clark. I think Darian Beavers will be in there for me. I'm leading off like 3 other guys that I can't remember right now. It's a good linebacker class. So I'm looking round 3. I think there'll be a good one for me. Mr. Payne, 522. The front office is awful. They're looking at good players, then cut or trade them after 2 years. They don't pay more than bottom dollar for free agents. The front office is really poverty. They are great at drafting. Contract talks, trade talks, negotiations with free agents. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Christopher Bishop, if I tip $5, Tom, I don't want no baby sips. Okay, just for you, Christopher, I'll do a very large gulp. The point is that I don't drink an entire beer for $5, but I'll do a big-ass sip for you, my friend. Dallas Hector, draft Jameson Williams. I would love it. I want to set up my roster to where I can draft the best player available in round 1. And that might damn well be Jameson Williams. He's a great football player. His production at Alabama this year was insanely good. But he balled out for the Crimson Tide. Now, his value is dipped because of the ACL. But maybe I can get a value. Had he been fully healthy, he'd have been wide receiver 1 or 2. If I can get that guy at 24, I ain't going to be mad at it. I can keep Lamb on the outside, or Lamb at the slot, rotate those guys in a little bit. It gives me speed that I don't really have right now on the roster. I would be all aboard that pick. There are a lot of routes you guys can go in round 1 this year. Who do you guys want to draft in the first round this year? This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes, let me know. Drop a name for me in the comment section while the ad plays. Nate Rosario, trade for Dallas Goedert and Baker Mayfield. The Eagles are not trading Dallas Goedert. The Browns say they're not trading Baker Mayfield, but they might in the end. But also for your backup QB, he ain't going to replace Dak. He ain't better than Dak. So if you get him cheap as a backup, sure, but other teams want him starting, so probably not going to happen. Ashley Murphy, which wide receiver would you replace Cooper with? I want to sign a cheaper veteran, whether that's a Juju, a James Washington, I could go for a Cole Beasley, like we mentioned earlier. I could live with that. And I'm going to draft somebody top 100. I am okay with just kind of drafting somebody top 100-ish every other year. There are a lot of good receivers these days. Maybe you can find good players that way if that's a path you want to pursue. Kathleen Callahan, Taco could have been TJ, so just bad picking. It's fair. But TJ Watt wasn't a scheme fit. They wanted a particular style of edge. That's a bit of a red flag there. What are your thoughts on Clowney? I'd be okay with it. I don't know if that's a likely outcome for the Dallas Cowboys. I think that might be better to their price range, but I would call. Then again, I'm a hell of a lot more aggressive than what the Dallas Cowboys have been so far. Now, if you want free Cowboys videos every single day, you have come to the perfect spot. The Cowboys Report is live at least once a week, sometimes more than that, and we got daily videos for you guys. So subscribe right now. All right, taking Teos. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm terribly sorry. Teos, that makes a lot more sense. I'm going to blame it on the alcohol. Should they make a push for Bobby Wagner and Za'Darius Smith? I feel like we're doing voice to text that went awry, which is totally fine. I do it all the time, too. So does my grandpa. God love him. Not to cause any major holes, so I can be a little bit more even. In the end, Bobby Wagner, Za'Darius Smith, I'll sign right now. Like, where do I go to get that done? I think Za'Darius and Bobby Wagner, I feel so much better about this team being good in 2022. We'll save Aaron Stanley's super chat here for a little bit. There's no question that's part of our live drinking games here. From Demetrius Seymour, is Josh Ball our future left tackle or draft a player? I don't know. It's a great question. He could be a left tackle option for you. He also has, I'm told, strength issues. Shout out Brian Broaddus. So he didn't play at all. You got no idea in reality what Josh Ball is for you. So you can't assume because we know what happens when you assume. Remy Gordon, is it true we have a shot at signing Za'Darius Smith? Heard he backed out of the Ravens deal. So, yes, Remy, Za'Darius Smith, who the Cowboys had interest in, talked about, discussions, due diligence. He had agreed to a deal with the Ravens. 4 years, $35 million, up to $50. Backed out of it. I'd give him the exact same deal. That is less than what the Broncos paid Randy Gregory. And Za'Darius Smith had more sacks in 2020 because he missed 2021 with an injury, which you got to vet that. Injury red flag. That's all fair. But he had more sacks in 2020 than any 2 years of Randy Gregory combined. And I can get him for less. I'm in. I want Za'Darius Smith real bad right now in Dallas. If you want to make some money betting on sports, go do it with BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys125 for 125% deposit bonus. $100 down, boom, 125 for free. That way, if you bet 20 on Providence, like your boy did on Thursday morning, and you get it right, boom, extra money to play with. If you get it wrong, you still got that deposit bonus. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Cowboys125. TKG, what do you want us to do in free agency, and what do you think we will do in free agency? What I want them to do is sign Bobby Wagner, re-sign Jaron Kearse, sign Za'Darius Smith, sign a cheap guard and a cheap receiver. What do I think they'll do? Sign a cheap edge, re-sign Dorrance Armstrong, sign a cheap linebacker, add James Washington and Johnny Hecker, and then roll over $20 million in cap space. That's what I think they're going to do. Jason Renfro signed Jarvis Landry. Again, you do something, I'll feel fine with it at this point. But I don't think Landry's got that much left in the tank. 1 year deal, $2 or $3 million. Let's ride. More than that, long-term deal. He wasn't great last year for Cleveland. QB a factor there, make no mistake. Slot only, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I'd like to go a little bit cheap in the end. From Roger, Santa Claus, nice. Is it possible Jerry is doing this to make it hard for Mike McCarthy to win, to fire him and bring in Sean Payton next year? This is like a very common theory out there. And it makes sense, like logically, right? Like, you were the best team by a massive margin in the NFC East last year. You're the betting favorite there this year. You get in the playoffs and crazy shit can happen. You played bad in the postseason. I get that. The salary cap's going to keep going up. And you are seemingly like not invested in right now. And you've got the coach you've been linked to for so long out there. It just... maybe it's a conspiracy theory, but it makes some sense, doesn't it? The Lunatic, how much input or lack of input you think Dak had on Amari Cooper and Schultz decisions? Dak himself has described this as he is happy to offer input when asked, but he's not going to go out of his way Aaron Rodgers style to like make a big fuss about particular moves. Allegedly, per Newy Scruggs here in Dallas, Dak was the one recruiting Von Miller, and Dallas never made an offer. Is that true? I don't know. If it is, I'm down bad. From Ricky Winters, what's the biggest need right now? Edge 2 is a big one. Safety 1/2 is a big need. One of those guys, depending on how you feel about Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson. Left guard is probably your other major need at this point. Speaking of needs, good job there, Jeff. What's the biggest need the Cowboys have right now? And I'll throw in a comment. You can't say ownership. Got to be positional need. I'm going to make it tough on you guys. I see you, Brandon Edwards. You're right. But you got to put a positional need in there. Let me know in the comments right now. From Bruce Got the Juice, we aren't looking at Stephen Jones's bigger picture. He wants to win the Cap Super Bowl. There was a big fuss raised about like, oh, the Cowboys have no money for 2023. They're going to be out. As I sit here filming this, the Cowboys have like $20 million in cap space next year, and that includes a normal rise in cap space. And no rollover. They're going to be fine.